Hey everyone, welcome to the March Equinox Pick a Card reading. And of course, in the Northern Hemisphere, it's going to be the Spring Equinox. In the Southern Hemisphere, it'll be the Fall Equinox. And also March 20th, which is when that equinox happens, is going to be the astrological new year. We've gone through all of the zodiac signs. We're leaving Pisces and starting over back in Aries. So happy Aries season as well. I'll have another special video for that. That will also be coming out, of course. Now the equinox, the solstices, we are either kind of pointing away from the sun or pointing toward the sun. And that's where we have winter and, of course, summer in the different hemispheres. But now we are kind of more where the sun is on the equator, which is going to be represented with this beautiful balancing that is coming in, this equalizing, where days and nights are equal-ish compared to winter and summer, of course. So the sun can seem like it's right above the equator during that time. And again, it's this balancing where we're not tilted in one direction or the other. So this reading is going to be about, springtime is about birthing, fall time or autumn is about harvesting, things are coming to fruition. And so you're going to have a choice of 3 different pick-a-cards. The first one is going to be the caterpillar being born or the butterfly coming to fruition. Number 2 is going to be the little seedling that does grow up into a fruit tree. And then we've got like the baby or the calf or the fawn that turns and grows into the adult, into the stag. So you have choices of 1, 2, or 3. I'm going to start with number 1. All the others have the timestamp in the description box below. So if you want to jump to one of those other ones, you can do that. Otherwise, we're going to start with number 1. All right, all my Leos, if you chose reading number 1, which is the caterpillar to the butterfly, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off by pulling a card from this Into the Lonely Woods Oracle deck. And this is just going to represent what the Creator wants you to know about one side of the scale on what is balancing out for you in these 3 months of this equinox period. So we'll start off here for all you Leos that chose reading number 1. There we go. And you have the drink from your own well, water your own garden. Yes, I really feel like this is going to be a self-nurturing side of this reading here. But let's take a look. That is card number 6. Which in numerology, number 6 is like the mother card, so it is very much a nurturing card. And it says, when we are alone, we learn how to not take our inspiration or sustenance from others. We do not drink from their wells. We do not feed from their cauldrons. We do not need anyone else's energy to generate our own. We can create our own energy, find the source of the spring within us, and begin to drink from that and discover who we are when we are most ourselves. Within you is the spring. Drink from it. Within you is the garden. Water it. Find the source within you. Do not seek inspiration elsewhere. This is not the time for that connection. Now is the time to follow the path until you discover the grail of the self and become your own light. I am loving that. That is very much, it's time for you. It's time for your inner nurturing. It's time for you. You don't need to be finding anything from outside of yourself because you do have everything from within. It's like the Magician card in the Major Arcana of the Tarot. You have everything in you to express the true dream, your dream to the world, not other people's dream that they gave to you, but this is your chance for that. And we're going to see what's on the other side of this balance, or right, this little scale, what's on both sides. And so the Earth Magic Oracle is what we're going to look at next for this side of the scales. So just give these a little shuffle. There we go. All right, so for our Leos, that shows reading number 1. What's on this side of the scale that you want them to know about? Okay, they do want that one. And you've got Vigilance, the Stone People. And we will put this over here, and let's see what comes with this for you. It says, these stone people stand in their ever-present vigil along the shores of an ocean whose tide has receded, leaving the remnants of water upon which we see them reflected. The sky, a soft and mobile backdrop for these solid beings, suggests peace and calm. They exude power, only moved and shaped by other earth elements such as the sea, the wind, and earth herself when she rumbles her belly. With practice, we can not only emulate these stone people, but also respect their ancientness and relative absoluteness of strength. They stand tall, bearing the ragged lines where these other earth elements have carved their impressions on these otherwise seemingly immobile fortresses. Long past, when we've left the earth for the world of spirit, these ancient beings will remain witness to all that transpires before their bodies. And what really jumped out for me for this, with this balancing, is the impact that the weathering on the outside has left on them, how it's molded them. And it's like this outside influence that this talked about moving away from is what this represents. So the stone that's being carved by others versus you carving yourself, you being the source of everything inside instead of the outside influence in you. So that's what I'm feeling on these energies. We, of course, are going to dive in deeper here. We're going to start off with the Black Tarot, which are going to represent messages from your shadow. And your shadow is your companion. It's a piece of you, of course, but it's your, kind of like your tour guide on this, amusement park of fear. It knows, it's the master gamer. It understands this game of life that we're in. And because it has access to the subconscious, where we are conscious of certain things in our life, our shadow knows the subconscious things, the things that are below the surface, the things that are running behind the scenes, all those cycles and systems that are running that are influencing all this energy in the, our conscious world. So these are going to be messages from your spirit that they want you to know, any truth information around this equinox that's happening over these next 3 months on what they want you to know. So for all our Leos, that chose reading number 1. They really want to that one, and they do want to that one. What else? And they want this one for right here. So we have these down here, and we'll start with this one right here. And you've got the Queen of Wands. Wands is your drive, your ambition, your passion, your inspiration, your spiritual energy, and just your energy in general. And the Queen of Wands has this amazing laser-like focus of how she can focus her energy and get stuff done. But she's very confident, and she has found this energy from within herself, because in addition to being a fire energy, all the queens also carry water energy, which has to do with the connection to the spiritual world, connection to her emotions. And usually, like in the standard tarot, she would have a black cat with her, which represents her connection to the spirit world, so her connection to the unseen, to the unknown as well. So this is perfect for this, because with you finding this wellspring within you, like it talked about the waters, with her finding these deep emotional water element within her, she's able to connect to that. So this is definitely the source of where this is coming from, is you have this fire within you, this energy within you, which Leos, you are fire signs. So that makes total sense, that this fire inside of you is driving you, but you also have this water energy that comes along with it. And you have the Tower moment. So the Tower is about having things being removed out of your life for you. In fact, these stone towers is what is being removed, right? I just love this, because this does have this story for you that everything in your life, all these fated events that come across, including this stone, experience of being molded by the things of the outside world, that happened for you, and it was fated events, but it's being removed for you during this 3-month period because you have other things to experience. This was not the end all for your entire life. It was an experience that happened for a time, but this is what you're being moved toward. So you move into this place knowing that anything that happens in your life is unfolding as planned, and that within each scenario, each fated event that happens in your life, that you are able to make a decision on what story you want to apply to it, what emotion you want to feel during it. You have that power to do that. And this Tower basically is telling you that when these things get removed, it means that the time for experiencing it is over. It's making room for the new that's coming. So yeah, this balancing, this transformation is happening for you. And you have the Three of Wands. Makes total sense too. With the wands that we talked about, the Three of Wands is like this changing of course, this changing of direction with new information. So with everything that you were experiencing in this realm, like in this type of situation that you have been in, where you just felt like everything, I don't want to say that you felt like you couldn't do anything right, but you felt like you were being corrected and corrected and corrected by outside people all the time, disappointing people, not doing what they wanted you to do, having these battles with people. And that was this rock, that was being chiseled, and you're like, you just felt every pound of the chisel on the stone. And now, with this new information coming in, now with this new direction, with this tower being burnt down and being removed out of your life, so that you could have this beautiful experience, being you and being self-sufficient, being confident in who you are and doing what you want to do. You have a change of plans, you have a change of direction, you have your energies change, where before in this situation you might have had a 5-year plan, where you have A and B and C and D and E and F and G and blah, 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 and you've made progress in it. But now with this change, you're like, and you're like, and you're changing direction. It'd be like, usually they have it's on the shore, and there's the person's looking over and seeing ships arriving, and maybe the plan was that you were going to take ship A to go to this direction. Now you're going to choose, ship Z and go to this place instead. And so there is this change of energy, this energy of change that is below the surface here, that is bringing all this stuff to fruition for you. And then you have the Page of Swords. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. And the page is all about new thoughts, new beliefs, also new messages coming in, new communication. So you are going to be having this new, even just thoughts drop into your head, where you're like, you know what? And that makes sense with this change, with this direction, with the Three of Wands. Suddenly you're like, I want to go this way. Here's an idea. Here's a solution I didn't see before. And now you want to change direction. So all this is bubbling under the surface here, bringing up that, these changes, this transformation that's happening. I really want to see this one too. Yeah, here you go. 8 of Wands. All this Wands energy. The 8 of Wands is about fast moving energy, but this movement of this energy, it's coming quick, it's coming fast, and it's flooding in. So it definitely is going to be this Tower movement, this removal happens fast and furious. And it also, the Eight of Wands is a beautiful message, especially with this. I just mentioned that you're going to be getting new messages, new communication. The Eight of Wands, Wands being also your spiritual energy, this represents new messages coming in from Spirit throughout all this as well. So be on the lookout for confirmations and synchronicities happening in the outside world and the physical world. Also, like we said, having these thoughts just drop into your head out of nowhere with solutions. Also, emotional messages where you just feel this gut feeling or this flood of emotion come over you, and it means something. You just know what it means without your brain dissecting and picking it out. You just know things. The other thing that, and this is maybe not for all of you, but they also want you to know that sometimes when you're not thinking about a loved one who's passed and gone on the other side, you're not even thinking about them, there's nothing that's sparking it, you're just going about your business, and suddenly this thought triggers, this memory triggers in your mind of a situation you had with them, a memory you had with this individual who's passed. That is them touching your brain, and making that memory ignite. So just as a little tap on your brain to let you know that you're not alone, that they are with you. They've been with you since they withdrew out of their physical body. They've been by your side in spirit since that very second, and they haven't left your body, next to your body. And they won't until you have joined with them back on the other side. So just know that you're never alone and that they're with you when that happens. And then we are actually going to pull cards from the Naked Heart Tarot, Witches messages from the other side, where this was from your shadow. This is going to be from all those beings of unconditional love and light on the other side, including those loved ones who are on the other side, but your guardian angel, your angels, your spirit guides, the creator, spirit, ancestors, any of those beings of unconditional love and light, that big posse of support that you have. All right, so for our Leos who chose reading number 1, what do you want them to know? Okay, they do want these two. What else? Oh, one. What else? And these two. Though I feel this one is for here and this one is for over here. So let's just straighten that up and we'll start with this one. Yep, you've got the Three of Wands. So you have the Three of Wands here. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and put this over top of each other since they match up. So you definitely, there's this correlation and this validation, this verification that yes, this is what is happening. You're going to be having these changes that happen in your life in this new direction that you're going to be taking in. It's definitely divinely guided and happening for you. So I love that. And then you have the Heart of Pentacles. This would be the Queen of Pentacles and in the Standard Tarot. And this one also reminds me, like I mentioned with Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. This is very much about nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself. It's a lot like the Empress card, where it is about new birth, new things happening in the physical world for you. But it is definitely about making sure you putting yourself first instead of everyone else and trying to bend and be molded by everyone else. And you got the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles just above each other here too, which is great. And then you have the Seven of Swords. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, like we talked about with the Page of Swords here. And the Seven of Swords is like this indication for you to understand that it's not the outside world that was doing this to you, but it was your own thoughts and your own beliefs that were making you think this is what you were supposed to do, what you should have been doing. It's kind of like the deception card. So this is, though, because this is your swords and your own mindsets and your thoughts and your beliefs, this is you. This is you, your own thoughts and your own beliefs deceiving you and taking you in a direction that isn't for you any longer. It was like this happened on purpose, for a purpose, like anything else, but they do, part of this transformation that happens with these new thoughts and these new beliefs is realizing that, oh, so I was doing that because I thought I deserved it, and because of these beliefs that I had taken on as my own as I was growing up, and this is how I thought about myself, but I'm ready for something new and something different, which is great. That's why that Page of Swords is there. Yeah. Because you have the Three of Swords, which is the expectations card. This is where we feel the disappointment and the heartache. All those expectations that I just talked about from the outside world, all those supposed to be's and should be's and need to be's and have to be's and must be's, all those popular opinions of the outside world that were making this happen. It was all those thoughts and beliefs that we were trying to be what we thought everyone wanted us to be. And even when some of them were contradicting each other, it's like, this person wants you to be happy, this person wants you to be serious. Am I supposed to be seriously happy or happily serious? I don't know. And it's like all this stuff that's been happening that really made you feel beat up, because it just felt, like I was talking about, that you can never make anyone happy, and you were constantly either feeling disappointed or being a disappointment to others, or you felt like you were being a disappointment to others. So definitely this Three of Swords is bringing this awareness that you can't really be heartbroken. You can't really be disappointed because your higher self is perfect. Your higher self has everything it needs within it. So it's just these thoughts and these beliefs is what it was, looking at what we were deceiving ourselves with, with this card here. So I love that this Page of Swords is here to help. It's what's driving these awarenesses. It's bringing your thoughts and beliefs to your face, which is great, because you're realizing that what is truth and what is fiction in your life. And then you have this one over here, which is the Nine of Cups, which is great. This is a very great card to have over here, because cups are your emotions, and the Nine of Cups is about having this emotional, fulfilling feeling. And it is basically all these cups where they felt empty before with these expectations, with this experience. When you choose you feel this wholeness and this completeness. What's great is that nines are like the Hermit card, which is all about the internal search, in that you're finding these things from the inside and not from the outside. So perfect for your reading here. And then we're going to wrap this one up with your Divine Directions cards here. And these are just going to be whatever final message the Creator has for all you Leos that chose reading number 1. So what's your final message for our Leos, please? There we go. And these two. I laugh because you have balance, which is what we are talking all about. This whole reading was about what's balancing out in these next 3 months. And it says it's time to find balance in your life. What is most important to you? Not important to everyone else, but to you. So we're putting this one over here because this is really about finding your passion, finding what's important to you in your life, and you are making this change and focusing your energy on that instead of trying to please the world, which you can't anyway. Because look, you got goals. It says it's time for you to take your goals off the back burner and go after them. So again, they're emphasizing your goals, not their goals and everyone else's goals, but your goals. It's off the back burner and it's coming to the front. Anything else that was in the front, you're pushing to the back and you're making yourself a priority. Your goals, what you want in life. And it does say, wait. Take time to think about the matter at hand. Don't be tempted to rush. So this is, what they're showing me with this is that if you suddenly go, oh yeah, this is what I really want, and you rush into it, really it was another one of these expectations that you thought you were supposed to want. It's like, well, okay, I'm not doing what they wanted me to do, but I guess this is what I'm supposed to want, so this is what I'm going to go after instead. So switch, and it's like, nope, nope, nope. Take time to really understand and make sure that you are digging into your own well, into your own, what you are really wanting in your life, not what you think you're supposed to really want in your life, because you can switch from thinking, okay, this is what everyone was telling me I wanted, what they wanted for my life, and they were very expressive in what they wanted for your life, and so you were doing it. And then when you are stepping away from there, you kind of feel empty. You kind of feel like, well, I've always done what everyone else wanted me to do. What am I supposed to do? Well, I guess this is what I'm supposed to do. It's like, nope, that's that wait. Wait for it. Wait for it. Take some time to dig in to make sure you are what you are really wanting to do, how you are uniquely wanting to express the unconditional love inside you with the world. Not what you think you're supposed to, not what you've been told to, but what you truly will make your heart happy, what will make your heart sing. Not what will make your heart not upset, but what's going to make your heart feel joyful. And that's what this Nine of Cups is about. What makes you feel life is worth living for, okay? I love it. And I do want to let you know, in addition to these readings, I also do offer monthly readings for each zodiac sign, weekly energy updates for each of the elements, like fire signs, water signs. Also, like new moon and full moon readings, which really looking at this new moon and full moon, I'd really pay attention to energies around those times. So if you want to check out those videos, they probably will have information for you for around those periods during this 3 months. But I offer all those free, and if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, also click on the subscribe button, that gives you access to this notification bell, and when you go in there, you can choose the option for all, and then you'll be notified of any new videos that come out for this channel. Also, doing those things just helps spread the love, because when you like a video, you share a video, you comment on a video, or you subscribe to a channel, it makes the YouTube algorithm so excited it wants to share the videos of that channel with other people as well. So if you want to be inspired to do any of those things, I am grateful for that, of course. Also, these are general readings. If you want even more specific information for your life, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is in the description box below. All right, my Leos, as you go throughout this equinox adventure and each and every second of every day of your life, please know that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing equinox. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon, though. So until then, you take care. All right, all my Leos, if you chose reading number 2, which is the seedling that grows into a beautiful fruit-bearing tree, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off by pulling a card from these Into the Lonely Woods Oracle. And this is going to represent what the Creator wants you to know about one side of the scale balancing here. What's going to be balancing out in these next 3 months during the equinox. So for our Leos that chose reading number 2, what do you want them to know? No, 2? Nope, I don't want those. Patience, grasshopper, they say. There we go. All right, and then you have the consolations of isolation. There, it's a beautiful little bird, and it's card number 35. So we'll see what message comes with that for you here. And it says, seclusion can feed the spirit, and with that nourishment comes a rebirth. So many people and beings take themselves away from society and people, from the chatter and the gatherings and the beautiful noise that is our collective. The sense of being separate for a time is nothing to fear, for you are separate, you are unique, you are experiencing the multiplicity through the oneness of your being. Being alone can heal us and bring us back from the dark place that is loneliness, a state we can experience even when among others. The comforting, healing qualities of solitude are yours, and these arrive spontaneously, unscheduled, without artifice. Your spirit desires you to breathe light right through your entire being until you shine with the radiance that is your soul. Beautiful. So very much a hermit kind of adventure on this side, which is something that you could have been going through or are going to be going through. We'll see what the other side of the scales are for this balance with these Earth Magic Oracle. Let's see what they want you to know about this balancing out. All right, so what else do we want? Our Leos that chose reading number 2 about this balance, okay? Yep, we got Milky Way perspective. Yeah, so I love this card. In fact, I do want to read from the book on this one because I like what it says about the Milky Way in here, because it really makes you have this little perspective here, which says the Milky Way is said to be one of billions of galaxies in the observable universe, contains between 200 to 400 billion stars. The one most familiar to us being our sun, of course. The oldest star in our galaxy is 13.2 billion years old, said to be nearly as old as the universe itself, and the Earth is about 4.5 billion years old. Distances are measured in light years, and the Milky Way galaxy is believed to be 100,000 light years in diameter. The enormity and vastness stagger the mind and challenge the imagination, yet it also gives us some notion of where we fit into all this. Considered from this perspective, our usual frame of reference is put to the task. We're faced with a choice of abandoning our myopic vision in favor of seeing and accepting the bigger picture, or we can just allow ourselves to be overwhelmed by a sense of smallness and helplessness. Yet know that we're composed of material from these very stars that inhabit the Milky Way. Thus, we're connected to Earth and the entire universe at all times, in life or death. And so, really, with this perspective here, where you feel like you could be part of all this galaxy and you feel like you're one little cog in the cogwheel of all this giant machine. You're like this small speck in this huge, massive, gathering of all those billions and billions of planets and stars and things. But then you have this, where you're like, you are taken away from all of this noise, all this, like it talked about, the collective, beautiful collective noise. You are becoming aware of this individuality, this specialness that you really are. And so I love this because it is this huge, you're part of this unity of the entire universe and everything else, but it's like, but you're also being taken away to understand yourself more on this little self journey. So I love that. And we are, of course, going to dig in deeper in here through these black tarot, which these are going to be messages from your shadow. And your shadow is a part of who you are. It's kind of would be like this little bird that's taking you on this path because it helps keeping you in the game, in this human adventure. And it is like the master game player because it knows how the game works and everything that's going on for us, because it is our tour guide in this amusement park of fear of the human adventure. Where this stuff up here, this would be like your, this is your consciousness, what things that you're aware of. This is below the surface. These are the things that are behind the scenes. All those programs and systems and everything else that is running and cycling underneath that impacts the known world, the conscious world, but we're not aware of it because it's in our subconscious, it's our unconscious. So these will be the messages that your shadow wants you to know about this experience during this equinox period. Oh, okay, well, there we go. There's one. Anything else? There we go. And what else? And that one. Any others? And these two. All right. So we will start with the one that showed itself, which is the Three of Wands. And this is a new direction. You know, this Wands is your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration, your passion. It could be your spiritual energy and your energy too. But there is this, it's like this change of direction that's happening in your life. And it comes with all this new information that's been kind of imploded on you with this journey. You know, it's like this, and I kind of feel like they want these to be on either side of the Milky Way here. So, you know, it is this, you've been on this path, you know, with all this awareness of, oh, we're all together, we're all one, all this stuff interacting, blah, 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 blah. And suddenly you get new information that comes in and you're drawn into a different direction. And so this energy that's underneath in your subconscious is what's nudging you in this direction, in this new adventure, with this new energy that's coming in. Yeah, because you have the Knight of Wands, which is, the Knight's all about motion and movement, and this Knight of Wands is about this, putting this energy into action, not sitting still. It's like this quest for this new energy, this quest for this new direction. So, you know, you can kind of look at it that the Knight wants to go on a quest. The Knights are not afraid. They're very courageous. They're very bold. They will be the ones that leap into war, and they're like, I don't care, let's go, you know, and not like the queen or the king in a suit where they're like, okay, we think these things out, we're going to make plans, I have responsibilities, I have, you know, the kingdom that I answer to. The Knight is like, quest, let's go. And that's the kind of energy that is being shown here, that you are so brave. You're like, I'm ready for this. I'm tired of feeling this way. I want to find this independence. I want to find this direction. So I love that. And then you have the Lovers. Yeah, which makes total sense too, because the Lovers is about expressing the passion that you have within you. And you kind of look at it that the 4 and the 5 that happened before this Lovers card, which is card number 6, it is this, the 4s and the 5s, the sides of them are about rules and regulations and control and restrictions, and, you know, where the Empress, which is the 3 before them, is free flowing in nature, you know, out in the forest. There's not all these rules and all this kind of stuff. Well, you can kind of imagine it as when you're a young child-ish, you know, you're given all these rules and all the, no, don't do this, yes, do this, the praise and the punishment, you have all the stuff, and you like the praise, you don't like the punishment, so you're following the rules, you're going along, and then passion hits. Teenage years, suddenly that curfew doesn't mean as much to you to obey when you find someone you're really interested in, someone you have your first crush on, or maybe the first time you fall in love, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't care. I want to be with them. I don't care the punishment I'm going to get. This 10 minutes with them is going to be worth being grounded for a week, you know, or whatever. And so this is about living your passions and, you know, never mind this, you know, the roles of the collective and that we have all this stuff. You're ready to bust out and have all this wands, all this passion. You want to express it. So I love that. And then you have, the Death card. Yeah, endings and new beginnings. You're definitely ready to put this to an end and move into this new direction. So you are ready for this transformation and this new birth into something else. So that makes sense there. Yeah, and the 8 of Pentacles, the 8 of Spheres. This is your outside world, and this is like moving to a new level, moving into a master level instead of being the apprentice, being the manager instead of the assistant manager. And so this is like this next level. It's kind of like this, you know, Death card. You're ready you put in all the work. Look at it like a blacksmith is the example that's coming to me, where you are the apprentice towards the blacksmith, the master blacksmith, and so you're regurgitating, learning their skill, learning how they do things, and you're doing it, and you're doing it, and you're doing it, and you have done it for years, you put out great work, and you've got to the point where the master goes, well done, you are duplicating what I've told you to do perfectly, and now it's time for you. You are now a master. It's time for you to move to a new town, and you become the master to someone else, to another apprentice. You get to show your skill. You get to go on this new adventure and this new level. So that's what I really feel. This energy is just screaming for you. And then we're going to pull cards here from the Naked Heart Tarot, which are going to represent messages from the higher realm, from the Creator, Spirit, all those beings of unconditional love and light. You have this huge posse of support, and these are the messages from them. So let me just give these a shuffle. We'll see what else they want you to know about this equinox, this 3-month balancing period here between feeling like you belong too much to feeling this wonderful independence and really understanding yourself. So, okay, they do want to that one. What else? Okay, and that one. What else? And that one, okay. I love these. We're going to put these over here and these over here. And I do want to start this way and work this way because you're starting off here with the world card, or the universe card is what they call it. But this is, look at that, busy bee. You're ready for this ending and new beginning. This is a major end of a major cycle and new beginning. So this definitely is them saying, yes, this ending and moving is for you and it's on purpose. So you're ready to leave the hive. This is the hive, and you're ready to head out into this new direction. It'd almost be like a queen bee being born, and she's like, okay, I'm going to go start my own hive. And so you're starting off like that. And then you have the 8 of Wands. So more energy, more passionate energy coming in. And the 8 of Wands, like this 8 of Spheres, is about moving to this new level of energy. It's the stepping up of this new energy, and it's moving. It comes in fast and furious, and it's movement, like that gazelle. Whoops, I guess this way. I guess it could go backwards if it wanted. But this also messages coming from Spirit as well. So during this time, just know if you're unsure of what direction to take, or you don't have the answers, that you have this great support team on the other side, that they won't mess with your free will. They won't, say, this is what you should do, and meddle with you unless you ask of your own free will to meddle in your life. Ask them questions. Show me messages. Show me confirmations. Yeah, I need some help. They will answer you, and they will provide you direction if you need it and if you want to ask for it. So definitely that's them telling you you have this beautiful energy coming in, this movement that's happening in your life, but also you have support and you can ask for it. Yeah. 2 of Cups. Cups are your emotions, and this is basically your human self and your higher self. So this 2 of Cups is really about having this new connection in the physical world, in this path that you're headed off into. Because really they're nudging me to let you know, I have this new video series. It's a free video series that I started at the beginning of the year, and it's called You Times 2, which is all about understanding the 2 of you that are having this human adventure together. And it's not like your shadow and your human side and your spiritual side duking it out. It's your human side in the search, wanting to have these experiences in your higher self, coming down and joining hands and walking together through this. So I'll have it, the playlist listed in the description box below this video, and also have it at the end of the video with a little link to the playlist if you want to check those out. But I love that because there is this joining together of the 2 of you, of this experience that you're having as you go through this. It's the separating yourself, but also with this path that you're on, getting to know the real you, this is that path right here. And then you have the Heart of Pentacles, which would be the Queen of Pentacles, which is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. It's taking care of yourself. It's a lot like the Empress card I talked about earlier, where she is about new birth, new things coming into you. And Pentacles are your physical world. So there's this making sure you're taking care of yourself and the path that you're on. And this was the Eight of, I thought you had the Eight of, no, but you have the Knight of Wands and the Eight of Wands. Sorry, I thought you had the Eight of Pentacles. Oh yeah, down here. I knew it was somewhere. So the pentacles that you have here, the spheres, this is the pentacles. This is that movement and this change and this stepping up in your outside world and your outside adventure. In fact, 35 here, 3 plus 5 is 8. So it is this movement, this path that you're on, this growth, stepping up to this next level and this different level for you during this time. So I really like that for you. I just feel like, these 8s, 8 and 8, that it is, I don't want you to feel, it doesn't matter, I can't control how you feel anyway, but they are not wanting you to feel like this is a step backward. With this 8 of Wands, they're showing me when I was doing the antelope speedily going backwards. It's like, don't feel like you're like, I need to go back and learn something. This is an expansion of your experience here, and it's designed. It's what you wanted to experience when you came here. So this death and this rebirth isn't like, because you made a mistake, this is now you're going to finally do what you're supposed to do. It's like, no, this has been all designed. You wanted to experience this, and now you're going to experience this, and you'll have other adventures for the rest of this lifetime too. But this is the next stage. This is the next movement up into where you're headed. You're apprentice for a while, you move into a master, and then you're mastering that. Who knows what's next for you, right? I love it. And then we're going to end your reading with these Whispering Woods cards here, and these are just going to be the final messages that the Creator has for all of you Leos that chose the seedling to the fruitful tree, right? And that's, I love that, because the seed is planted, it goes through its experience of being in the dirt, right? It tries to move to the surface, and it's like, that's the adventure, and then suddenly it's the surface and comes out, and it's like, what is this? This is newness, this is air, this is brightness, this is light. And it's like, that's your next stage. And then you grow bigger, and then you bear fruit, right? Like that seedling goes into that fruitful tree, and then one of your fruit drop from the tree to the ground that plants seeds, which then starts a new adventure, right? So I love that this is just this progression for you. All right, so for our Leos, what's your final message for those that chose reading number 2? Okay, got those 2. Any others? And last pass. Any others? Nope. So it's these 2 here for you. And you have Grounded. And that says, keep your roots and stand taller than the trees. So that is, you have your roots, you're growing taller and taller and taller. So when you were a seedling, they were like, you're a seedling, you're a one of many seeds. Now you're this mighty tree. And then you have Reconnect. And that says, secrets lurk in the captive shadows deep in the woods. So definitely this is about this new adventure and this new search, these unknown things that are waiting for you. So don't be afraid of the unknown, because you are not alone. You have this great posse of support. So ask if you have any questions, ask when you need guidance, or just talk to them. They love, any interactions they have with you, of course. Right, well, I'm going to leave the reading there. I do want to let you know, in addition to these readings, I also offer monthly readings for each zodiac sign, weekly energy updates by each of the elements like fire signs, water signs, etc., new moon and full moon readings, and a variety of other videos. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click this like button, also click the subscribe button. That's going to give you access to the notification bell. When you go in there, just select all, and you'll be notified of any new videos that come out on this channel. Also, doing those things helps spread the love, because when you like a video, you share a video, you comment on a video, or you subscribe to a channel, the YouTube algorithm just loves it and wants to share the videos on the channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of that, of course, I am grateful for that. Also, these are general readings. If you want even more specific information for your life, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is in the description box below. Right on, my Leos, as you go throughout each and every second of every day of your life, please know that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and of course, I love you too. Have an amazing equinox. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon, though, but until then, you take care. All right, all my Leos, if you chose reading number 3, which is the baby to the adult, the little calf or fawn to the mighty stag, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Into the Lonely Woods, just to see what's on one side of the scales here. And then we will, of course, pull another card from another deck for the other side. So we'll see what is looking at being balanced during these next 3 months during this equinox for you. All right. So for our Leos that chose pile number 3 or option number 3, okay, I actually went to that one right there. And you have to watch over you. And I love that little tree watching over the little creature sitting on its branch. That's card number 8. So put that there, and let's see what message comes with that for you. So for this half of the balancing, it says, you are seen, beautiful soul. Your isolation sometimes leads you to feel as though your existence will go unobserved. You are not invisible. You are seen and loved, even in these moments of absolute aloneness. The eyes of the spirit world watch over you more closely now than ever before. These beings who dwell within all the elements, in every tree, in every breeze, within the deep and good earth, see you and wish to guide you. They are here to help you with what you need to know. Learn to trust the messages that are coming through for you. And know you're not losing what we call the mind. You are deepening your relationship with the true nature of this beautiful world. The owl knows your name and is calling you home. That is beautiful. I guess that is an owl. Oh yeah, so that's an owl inside the tree branch. Thought it was the entire tree, but it can be. It can be whatever we want it to be, right? So I love that. And then for the other side of the scales here, we're going to pull a card from this Earth Magic Oracle and see what else. They want you to know about what's being balanced out here in the next 3 months. All right, so for our Leos that chose number 3, okay, that one right there. Actually, it looks like there's 2 there. And the first one is the new moon, the promise. So I love that. Let's see, in that one, you are not alone. You also have someone in the physical world that is supporting you. And then you have ceremony, invocation. I love these. So I want to read this ceremony one here because there's this invocation message that is really standing out. Oh, I guess I should look up ceremony instead of invocation. Sorry about that. I got all obsessed with that invocation. So it says, it is in sacred ceremony that we have one of the greatest opportunities to experience communion with Source, one where the perceived dualities of both heaven and earth merge into an experience of the divine. Through the use of sacred pieces that have become imbued with spiritual significance, we bring forth ceremony catalyzed by clear intention and preparation. Sacred ceremony is prayer in action. In this image, a woman kneels before an altar where a number of crystals are placed, light emanating from her hands. We see incense burning, snake spirit rests nearby, and various ethereal beings appear in a wispy shroud of light around her head. Now that I said all that, I can let you see that even a little closer so you can see all of that that's going on here. Beautiful energy emanating from her head. All the while, the tapestry upon which she sits appears to be on fire, symbolizing the fiery passion brought on by the intense focus of spirit that has been invoked for this ceremony. Calling spirit forth in this way facilitates a direct and heartfelt sense of relatedness to source. So, what I love about this, so I really feel that there's this promise that you will not be left alone, and that, with this loneliness, with this aloneness that you're feeling, in that moment of loneliness, it's like this journey of being alone is opening you up, because you have the full moon here and you have the new moon here, right? And so there's this ceremony, this invocation. It's like with you taking this time, putting the intention, invoking this, putting your energy, there's this promise that you will get to know source, you'll get to know spirit. You will, even though you have this lonely feeling that you're going through, it's being balanced with this promise of this true connection, that you are going to go to this new level that you haven't gone before with the spirit world, with reaching out, connecting to the creator, to spirit, to your guardian angel, to your angels, your spirit guides. Could be to loved ones on the other side who have already passed and gone back, your ancestors, any of those beings of unconditional love and light that you're looking to connect to. This is the action, and this is like the space that's being created by your aloneness, by this stepping away where it almost feels like you have been abandoned in the physical world, where you kind of feel like you've been left. You can even be in a crowd of people and still feel lonely and feeling alone. But this is happening on purpose so that you can have this experience. And so this is the balancing between those two things. You have this, physical aloneness that you're feeling, but it's going to spark this spiritual, I wouldn't say evolution. This is spiritual step up, this spiritual enhancement, this next level energy that's coming in here. We're going to dig in more of this, of course, and we're going to start off by pulling cards here from the Black Tarot. These represent the messages from your shadow. Your shadow is your part of yourself. It's like your companion in this lifetime, your little tour guide through this human experience, through this amusement park of fear and human adventure. And they have access to information that we are not currently aware of, because we're, in our conscious world here above the surface, but our shadow knows the subconscious, the unconscious, all this stuff that's below the surface, behind the scenes, these programs that are running, all this flow that's happening underneath that's impacting us. We just don't see it because it's not in our face yet. It's in our subconscious, our unconscious. And so these are going to be the messages that your shadow wants you to know around this 3 months and around this situation that's going on here. So for those of our Leo that chose number 3, what would she like them to know, please? Okay, I do want that one. What else? Okay, that one. Evidently that one, right? I'll leave that up since it was already up. And any others? Okay, and one more. So move these over a little bit. Make some space. There we go. And we are going to start with this one right here because it made itself known, and it's the Page of Wands. And I love that the Wands is your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration. Pages would be newness, new energy, new spiritual energy, which is exactly what you're talking about here, going to next level. You see that his heart, that energy is on fire there. So this message also, one, that you have this new level, this new passionate spiritual energy that's under the surface wanting to make itself known, which is what this is all about. But the pages also represent messengers. In this sense, this represents spirit. This is messages from spirit. And what we're talking about is getting to know, reaching out and talking to the spiritual realm. All those beings of unconditional love and light, they want to talk to you. They want to communicate with you. You can always communicate with them. They are always listening. But if you want to hear from them, one of the things with this invocation is taking time away, getting away from all the noise, and purposely intending to raise your vibration to a frequency of unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter. That's the frequency at which Spirit speaks. So for you to hear from them, that's what they're asking you to do with this ceremony, with this invocation. And actually, they want me to go this way. They want me to jump to this one next. And you have the Two of Cups. Okay, makes total sense. Because the Two of Cups represent the two sides of you, their emotions. And so it's saying that you have two places that emotions come from. One of those cups is your human self, right? It's this chalice, this open, that never gets filled up with the outside world stuff. It always is feeling empty. The other one is the chalice. It's the Holy Grail, and it's full of the unconditional love of the Creator of all things. It's this beautiful energy from the other side that is full, and that cup can pour and fill up our human cup, because that's what it's searching for. That's what it's hungry for. In fact, I do have this new free video series that started in January, and it's called You Times Two, which is all about understanding the two of you that are having this human experience here on earth, your human self and your higher self. And I'll have that in the description box below, and also linked at the end of the video here if you want to go check that out, because that's the energy that it's talking about in the journey that you're being called to here. And then you have the Eight of Swords. So swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes. And there is this underlyingness. I mean, this is the card number 8, right? So it's these thoughts and these beliefs that you have that you're becoming aware of, that they are what have been making you feel blinded and bound and restricted. It hasn't been the outside world, but it's been the beliefs that you took on that were shared in the outside world. It would have been all those popular opinions on the supposed tos and the shoulds and the need tos has boxed you in, making you feel like, well, this is what I have to be. That's what's brought you to this loneliness too. But busting past those, there's this energy of pushing you to look at those thoughts and those beliefs, and that's what frees you and allows you to move into this new direction with this new moon energy. Let's see what we got here too. Yeah, makes sense. The Hanged Man, seeing things from a higher perspective. You've been hanging upside down here for quite a while, feeling lifeless. Maybe this is the tree that you finally are climbing up. And not finally, because it's always perfect timing, because you did want to experience what it felt like to be immobile, to feel lonely. You did come here to experience all of this as well. So I love that you have the Hanged Man here, because there is this, again, this drive underneath in your subconscious to see things from a higher perspective, from a different perspective. And, so like I mentioned, they have that U times 2 series that they really want you to look at. And you have this new moon and this full moon. I also offer free readings for new moons and full moons. So as you're going throughout these 3 months, whether you look at those videos or you have a different source that you look at for the energies around the moon cycles, I would really pay attention to those during here, because they are significant for you. Then we're going to be looking at, they were talking about communicating with them. These are going to be messages from the posse of beautiful support you have up above, those beings of unconditional love and light, the Creator, Spirit, all those that we talked about. And we're going to use the Naked Heart Tarot to see what messages they have for you. Yeah, but I love this. They promise you you are never alone and you never will be alone. You might not see people in the physical realm, but you are never alone. Your invisible posse has surrounded you. You have a crowd around you at all times, whether you can see them with your physical eyes or not. So what other messages do you have? Okay, there we go. Okay, and I want this one too. Those two. What else? Okay, that one. Any others? Last pass. Nope, that's it. Okay. So we'll start with this beautiful card here, which is Justice, which is Balance, which is card number 11, which when you add 1 + 1 = 2, which is the two of you. This is the balance, the human side and the spiritual side, and this wonderful Ace of Swords here that allows you to connect and see those capital T truths of the higher realm. It allows you to cut away those small thoughts and beliefs, these 8 of Swords. It allows you to cut away the thoughts and the beliefs that have blinded you and bound you and made you feel restricted. You have this beautiful energy coming in to transform that and to cut those away. So you do have, as you connect with the higher realm, you do have access to these beautiful truths that don't need protecting. They're the capital T truths, and it allows you to really grasp that unconditional love that they have for you, and it just transforms everything in your life. It does. It does. Because then you have the 10 of Pentacles. So endings and new beginnings in your outside world, but this also is just this feeling of abundance. You just feel like you have everything that you need, which makes sense as you cut away all these supposed to's and shoulds and need to's and have to's and supposed to's and blah, 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 blah. You see you have everything that you need inside you, and it frees you. It makes you feel this wholeness and this completeness in your outside world, because you don't fear it anymore. You don't feel this lack, because you feel this wholeness and this abundance inside. Yeah. And then you have the Movement of Pentacles, which would be the Knight of Pentacles in the Standard Tarot. Out of the 4 knights in the deck, this would be the slowest moving, because the other 3 knights are all about your inner world, because your mind, your emotions, and your spark and your inspiration. All those, your inner world can change like that, right? But it takes time for your inner world to make it to the outer world, because we don't change from the outside in, we change from the inside out, right? So this is just this message saying, be patient with the outside world as you're going through this beautiful connection and transformation, because it'll take time for it to catch up, but celebrate and enjoy the internal process, because it is going to be fast moving and changing there. Yeah. So here is the Empress, Mother Earth. This is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. This is all about taking care of you and the freedom that comes. It's new birth, obviously, she's pregnant. Mother Earth, it's this birth that's happening. And there's a lot of freedom that comes with this too, because the Earth Mother, she comes first in the major arcana before the Emperor and the Hierophant and all the society rules and all the restrictions that come with the outside world, right? When you're out in nature, it's free flowing, you feel unrestricted, you're just breath of fresh air, right? But when you start moving into a city, they have rules, there's all the stuff, that you have to do to be able to live there and blah, 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 blah. And then you get into spirituality and organized religion of any kind, and organized faith of any kind or belief system. It's like, there's all these rules so everyone can get along. And so you have all that restriction that starts to happen, right? These 8 of Swords. But this Empress is this freedom that comes. And so that is definitely this new birth, this new moon has this new birth and this new cycles, this new fresh breath of fresh air that's coming in with this transformation, with this new journey, with this new ceremonial that you're doing here. So I love it. Getting out into nature too is a wonderful way to connect to the higher realms, because you getting away from it all is really getting away from it all the rules and all that restriction. It allows you to think more clearly and not feel so fearful, and just to be filled with that joy, right? Then your final messages are going to come from this deck here, which is the Aboriginal Dreaming Totems. And this just represents the final messages that the Creator has for all of you Leos that chose reading number 3. So what are your final messages, please? Okay, they do want that one. What else? Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. So you are going out with a bang here. So let's take a look at these. Yeah, so you have responsibility, which says, become discriminate about the people you choose to help. There are too many people in your life who don't take responsibility for themselves and instead rely on you to sort it out for them. So yeah, this definitely is these 8 of Swords, all these restrictions. In fact, I do want to put this down here. That's all the supposed to, the should, the need to, the have to. You feel so responsible for so much in your life. Yeah, it stresses you out, right? But then you have confidence here. Confident, which says you confuse confidence with ego. There's no shame in confidence. It's about knowing who you are and what, and most importantly, having the courage to stand in your own power. So I really love that. In fact, I kind of like that for this Wands energy, this boldness, this beautiful energy that's just coming forth, because there is a difference between being confident in who you are and making a leap and connection, and being arrogant. Arrogance and ego come from saying that I'm better at that than you, rather than I'm good at this, just as a declaration of your skill, versus I'm better at this than you is a comparison and a contrast, which is of the ego. So this is about connecting to who you are, your courage, and to just the amazingness that you are, because then you have the boldness that comes after that, which is don't take this lying down. Get up and fight, but fairly. This fight will be remembered because of the respect and dignity you bring to the battle. So I kind of feel like this is this combination. You have this confidence and this stepping away from the responsibility. And so it is standing up for yourself and being bold and saying no. And no is a complete sentence. Your heart won't let you just say, no, thank you. You'll be like, oh, not at this time, maybe in the future, or that's just not really floating in my boat at this time, so you can say no. And then you have persuasion. And that one says it's all about how you see this situation. If you're looking for negatives, you're going to find them because there are many. But try concentrating on the positives. There are plenty of them. And I feel like this is that invocation here. This is where you focus your energy. Wherever you focus your energy is where it grows. And so I feel like this is this knowing that when you focus on connection, you're going to find it. If you don't want to find the connection, you won't. But this is definitely them reaffirming this power that you have, the worthiness that you have to connect, and that it's within your power to do that. In fact, they want to go to faith next here. And faith says, loving and then letting go is not only one of the most challenging things we can do, it's also the bravest. Take deep breaths and know this is right. Yeah, so this is also, they're kind of doing these jointly together here. So you have this ability that you have, whatever you focus on grows, but you also have this ability here, to say no and to trust that it's okay. It's difficult to do sometimes, but when you know it's for your best and for your path, just know that it's also right for the other person. Because if you stayed in a relationship of any kind with someone that it's not meant for you to be in right now, you are just cheating them out of meeting someone who is that teacher or that next mirror that needs to be in their life, because you are taking their time instead of opening that space for them to find that. Yeah, and I feel like sadness is what comes next here. Because it says, allow yourself the space to feel miserable, mourn what has been lost or what cannot be. If you don't take the time now, your sadness will catch up with you later when you're least expecting it. So when you're saying no to this, with all this happening here, it's okay. It's okay to allow yourself to feel the sadness, feel the feels, don't bury them, but then move on. And your final card is breathe. Take a few deep breaths and accept that sometimes things just don't make sense. Soon enough, everyone will come to their senses to see the situation for what it is. So I really feel with this movement and this loneliness, I feel like a lot of this is what brought you to this space, or will during these 3 months, this loneliness, this isolation that you feel, but it allows you to really get quiet and hear and connect in a way. And the important thing is breathe through it all. Breathing will help you calm down. It'll help you stay out of fear or move back out of fear, out of that fight or flight, and allow you to make this beautiful connection. Get out into nature as much as you can too. Breath of fresh air, right? So I really love that. So this is going to be great for you. I know you're like, oh no, but just know in the end, it is for your benefit. It's so freeing. And to be able to have this connection to the billions and trillions and quadrillions of beautiful beings of unconditional love and light on the other side, I would say it's worth it, wouldn't you? All right, well, I'm going to leave the reading there. I do want to let you know, in addition to these readings, I also put out monthly readings for each zodiac sign, weekly energy updates by each of the elements like fire signs, water signs, etc. I do the new moon and full moon readings, and a variety of other videos. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click this like button, also click the subscribe button, that'll give you access to this notification bell. And when you go in there, just choose the all option and then you'll be notified of any new videos that come out on this channel. Also, doing any of those things helps spread the love. Because when you like a video, you share a video, you comment on a video, or you subscribe to a channel, it makes the YouTube algorithm so super happy. It wants to share those videos with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, I am grateful for that. Also, these are general readings. If you want more specific information for your life, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is listed in the description box below. All right, all my Leos, just know as you're going through this equinox, in every second of every day of your life, that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing equinox. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon, though. And until then, you take care.